What up, people? Thanks for coming back to the channel. I'm Rob, and this here's Straight Bearded. Now, normally in Straight Bearded, we go over beard product reviews, tips and tricks, and things that help us take care of our beards. But we're going left today. We're doing something completely different. However, it's still in the category of tips and tricks. Hang around. I've got something to help you out. All right, so today we've got something a little bit different, and I've got a question for you. Chances are, I already know the answer to this question if you're watching this video. Chances are you searched me up, and I'm going to help you out. So, do you have a big head? It's okay. I got a big head. I'm dealing with it. But I find that I have a hard time with hats and getting them to fit properly, regular size hats. For example, I got this hat here. It's from the Luxurious Bastard Beard Company. They have beard products, and they have a logo that I absolutely love, so I bought a hat, and I was so excited. And when I got it in the mail, it's a snapback. And I was on the absolute last hole, and that thing was screaming. It just wouldn't fit. So it ran a little bit smaller than what I'm accustomed to. Normally snapbacks, I'm able to get the last two holes, and it's a pretty decent fit, a little tight. But I never really knew what to do about it. But when this one came in, I couldn't give up. I had to find some kind of way to get it to fix. So I tried several different things, and I've got a process that I want to show you today that's going to help you. We've got this hat fixed, but we also got another hat a few weeks back that I haven't really been able to wear comfortably. Now, this is from Lone Bear Beard Company, by the way. It is on the last two holes, if you see there, the last two holes of this snapback, and it's pretty doggone tight. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the same process on this hat that I did on this hat, to where I gained two more holes. Very, very easy, very, very quick process. A little bit of patience, a little bit of care, and you can get your hats to fit your big old melon. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So stick tight. I'm going to make this as quick as possible, and we're going to go down and dive down up close and see if we can show you how to get this fixed. Stand by. All right, so we're going to keep this as simple and quick as possible. Going to need a couple things. You're going to need a large or larger pan. That's going to be your base. You're going to need a smaller pan that's more accurate to the size of your hat. You can make that adjustment. And this is going to work for snapbacks, like I said, only. I've not done any other fitteds, but just snapbacks. So a pot that you can get your hat on. We can make that adjustment later. And you're going to need, I'm living dangerously and I'm using knives. But what we want to do is take these knives and lay them across the top, because we're going to put our hat on top of this pot and get it sized really tight and let it sit right there. So the basis and the very first thing you want to do is go ahead and locate all these items. I'm going to go ahead and get this water, get just a little bit of water, maybe about a ½ inch of water in the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to go ahead and get that boiling, and I'm going to size my hat to this pot here. It's a little loose now. I want it to be sized to where it's tight. This hat right now fits me on a 2 with 2 of these holes filled, so I want to get it on there just as tight as I possibly can. And once I get this water boiling, I'm going to set this across the top of here just like that. So I'll go ahead and get the water boiling and come right back to y'all. Alright, so as you can see, I've got my water boiling. I've got my larger base pot on the stove. I've got just about a ½ inch, maybe a little bit less of water in the bottom of that. And I've got my 2 long devices meant as a platform for my smaller pot. So I've taken the hat that I have that's a little bit too small for me. Let me move this out of the way just for a second. I've got that on the base of the pot. I hope you can see that. But I've made it as tight as possible. That's really, really important. You want to make it as tight as possible on the pot that you're using. Without that, it won't work at all. The idea of this is to have the steam from the lower pot. It's acting as like a double boiler, actually. Have the steam from the lower pot loosen up the fibers in this band while it's being stretched. So we'll go ahead and put this on here. Very precariously, but very carefully. We'll let it sit like that for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and go ahead and get it nice and softened up. I'll touch the band just to make sure that the band is good and hot. Once that band is good and hot, I know that I'm where I need to be. But once I'll do one cycle of that, and then I'll take that hat off of that pot and then see if I can get it just one more notch tighter. We really want to stretch that band out. So I'll go ahead and let this sit for 2 or 3 minutes until that band is hot, and then come back and we'll go ahead and do the restretch. Alright guys, it's been about 3 minutes. It's time for the restretch. So I'm going to check that band. That band is moist and really hot. So I'm going to take this off the top of there, set this pot to the side for just a second. Now this hat is hot and moist, so be real careful here. So that's how far I had to stretch it down in order to get it on that pot. So what I want to do is see if I can increase one more or two more holes. I want to make it just one or two more holes a little bit tighter and try to get it back down on that that pot. So we're going to try for 2 and see if we can make it happen. And I'll be doing this hopefully off the side here. You can see it. So 2 looks like it's a little too much, so we'll just increase to 1. So we're increasing 1 from where we were, and we're going to put that back on that pot. We want to get that brim, excuse me, want to get that brim on there just as flat and as straight as we possibly can, so we don't have any weird warping. So we'll go ahead and let that rock for another 2 to 3 minutes. And what this is doing is that moisture and that heat is loosening that up right there, and it's going to end up staying like this. I've got another hat that I've done this to, and I gained 3 hole sizes on it, which is really helpful. So now I can wear that hat. So we'll come right back and we'll go ahead and finish this out. Alright, so we're at the end of our second 3-minute cycle. We've got this band stretched. It's still on the pot, and we're going to leave it on the pot. Now what we need to do, go ahead and turn this heat off. What we need to do from this point is take this up, and we do not want to remove the hat just yet. We want to take this hat, whether it be on a air conditioner vent. I even put my last one in the freezer for about 30 minutes, but we want it to cool. We can't take it off of here yet because it has not set. You know that things generally don't set until they've gotten some cool air or cool temperature on them. So I'll take this on. I'll go ahead and set this on an air conditioned vent for probably about an hour or so. Let it dry out before I ever take it off that pot. And once I take it off that pot, it will be at the size that I want it to be. It'll be considerably larger to where I've gained at least 2 to 3 holes, but we'll come back up top to double check that once I've let this cool. Like I said, if you don't have air conditioner vents or anything that are on right now that you can use, 30 minutes in the freezer does great. Just remember that when you take it out, give it just a little bit to thaw. It will want to freeze up on you, but we want it completely dry. We want it cooled off all the way. Once we get done with that, we'll come back up top and see how she fits. All right, after a little bit of care and time, the process is done. I've gotten this hat squared away. We've done the entire process, and it's dried out, and it's good and stretched. So we're going to give it a shot for the first time. Now, normally, as I said, we started out on the first 2 holes, so I put that back there. So let's give this a shot and see what 2 holes does me now. Woo, that is a loosey-goosey, loosey-goosey. So let's do this. Let's give our 2 holes a test. So now we're going to go 4 holes covered on the snapback. Let's see what happens. Yes, sir. Exactly where it needs to be. So I gained 2 holes off of that process. I hope that your big-headed selves out there can get some type of benefit out of this. Save those hats. Don't leave them hanging. Help them out. Very easy process. I hope you guys found this helpful. Really hope I helped you out. If you haven't, please subscribe. Like this video and hop down in the comments. If you've got any questions, I'll always answer your questions. So thanks for stopping by. Hope you learned something. Y'all have a great one.